I love Louis L'Amour westerns. On the up the ranch, so far up we didn't have TV. So I started reading Louis L'Amour westerns, and with the Louis L'Amour westerns, I got this philosophy in life. You treat people respectfully. You treat a woman like a lady, no matter what she's like. And if you take a man's money, you work hard for that money. If you give a man your word, you keep your word, no matter what. You keep your word. And Louis L'Amour has this philosophy of when you take a man's money, you ride for the brand. And that's exactly what I did. My name is Mike Crawford. Everybody calls me Mustang. I've been here at Prime for almost 16 years. And the way I got to Prime was I was a firefighter in St. Louis area. I moved out to Colorado because my wife and my kids got tired of seeing me play a hero and getting drug out of burning buildings and stuff. And I moved to Colorado, and wasn't too much work there, so I went to work driving a truck. And then I was pulling flatbed hauling oil pipe and oil rig equipment, which would slow down in the winter. So I started working on with some of these ranchers, and I got into horses. And
Phantom Canyon Ranch, right?
Phantom Canyon Ranch. Louis L'Amour wrote a story called Cherokee Trail, and it was about a stage stop, and that stage stop is still on that ranch. And I have been in that stage stop. The tracks from the stagecoach still go by there, go through that ranch, because of the last stage stop, the last scheduled stage was in 1937. I went through there. And so now I moved up there, and I went to work on this ranch as a cowboy. It was a 54,000 acre ranch, and I had a horse that I'd gotten, a horse named Lady, and she's good. She was a excellent cutting horse. Not for show or anything, but working cattle.
You still have that horse too?
I still have that horse. She's 27 years old now, but I still have her. And anyhow, I worked on the ranch. The pay was $125 a week, and that was working from daylight to dark, 6.5 days a week. The owner started selling off the ranch back in early '92, and the only thing that was left was 350 acres and the little house that I lived in, that he lived in, and the little house I lived in, and I wasn't going to irrigate hay fields for that kind of money. So came back to Missouri looking for a cowboy job. There just wasn't. I found one, but then it fizzled out. Well, after that, I tried a couple other jobs. They just don't pay that much around here. And I went to work for a company called Steelman Flatbed here in Springfield. And I was out in Utah, and I found a winch that fell off of the truck. And I was laying along the road, and I picked it up and looked at it. So I wish I had a truck to go with that. So then I run into a prime driver, a flatbed driver, at a service plaza over in Kansas, and he was telling me about Prime's flatbed operation, and I didn't even know they had one. I seen Prime's reefers, but I'd never paid attention to a Prime flatbed because they only had like 300 of them at the time. Well, I delivered my load for Steelman, and I came by here. I put in an application. They looked at it, and I talked with Sam Cope, and because of the amount of jobs I'd had, Sam didn't know if it would work out. I said, you know, just give me a chance. That's all I'm asking. Just give me a chance. So they put me in, and I worked for 3 weeks. Then they had a truck. I leased my truck, and after I got the truck, I started working real hard, making real good money. At the end of my 4-year lease, I bought my truck. A lot of guys, we've got a lot of people here that turn their trucks in and lease another one. We've got some guys that's been here 17 years. They'll turn their truck in, lease another one. Finish their lease, turn their truck in, lease another one. They're used to the lifestyle with that, but I liked my truck. My truck is so old, it's not going to break down, it's going to break its hip. And so anyhow, I ride, there again. They ask me to do a job, and I do it to the best of my ability. If I give my word that I'm going to get my load delivered on time, I get my load delivered on time. If I got to go through a blizzard, then I'll go through a blizzard. I will chain up. I might have to drive a little extra, but the load will be delivered because 16 years old in April. That truck has had less breakdowns, has had less problems. I've never broken down out on the road. In 16 years, it has 2.5 million miles on it. 16 years, 2.5 million miles. I've never had my triangles out.
Wow.
I've never been broke down alongside the road.
Huh.
I've never been towed.
What do you attribute that to?
Taking care of it. Just watching what I do. Don't push it too hard. Don't doing some things that other guys don't. I'll ride if the right lane's real rough, I'll ride in the left lane.
Okay.
Don't beat the heck out of it. I still have the original front end on it. I still have the original seats in it. Everything on it, it's the same engine. The transmission and rear ends have never been touched.
Right.
I was curious as to how long a set of injectors, because I knew I had over 2 million miles on those. And I had never had a problem with my injectors. And I was curious as to, when they might go bad, or could I expect them to go bad? How long would a set of injectors last? So I called Detroit headquarters and I was talking to them. And they said, well, how long have you had a truck? And I said, I've got over 2 million miles on those injectors. And I said, you can verify that. And I told them because all I need is the last 6 digits of your, or 6 numbers of your VIN number, and they pull it up like that. So I said, 579295. I've got that one memorized. And so they pulled it up. Well, my truck, they had never had to do anything to the injectors. Whenever I go in for an overhead, it was just a minor adjustment. Not a major adjustment, just a minor adjustment. And I'd never had a problem. So they got to talking, and just out of me being curious, they said, we'd like to put a new set of injectors in it. I wasn't so sure about that at first. And I talked to Bill Taylor, our head of maintenance at that time. Talked to him. He said, man, you better let him do it. He says, you're lucky that you've gotten this far with it. And all right, so I let him put new injectors in it. And that was on July 7th, 2007 that they put the new injectors in. And now I've been nervous about, one of the new injectors. But I had them checked here about 5 months ago, and they didn't even have barely other products with it. I use good quality oil. I change my oil every 20,000. We were told that with these newer trucks, they're going at 50,000 miles without changing oil. No.
Pushing the envelope, you think?
Yeah, I change mine every 20,000. But as far as changing anything, no, I'm 62 years old, and I figure I'll be driving a 70 because I really like what I'm doing. I am having a real good time. And it makes it a lot easier to have a good time when you've got the support. You've seen everything I've showed you everything today. When you have the support that you have here and the backing here, and we care about each other. We care about this state. We care about this country. I ride for the brand.